I'm in the small village of Torryburn in Fife, a lovely wee place which resides on the north shore of the Firth of Forth. Torryburn holds a unique place in Scottish history, not because of a battle or that some famous person was born here. It's because it has the only known grave of a witch in Scotland. The lady in question was named Lilias Adie, who was born in 1640 and would die in prison in 1704. She was accused of practising witchcraft and fornicating with the devil. It's said that she was subjected to days of what was called rough interrogation. I think we can assume she was tortured until she would eventually confess for her crimes. Now, Lilias Adie's troubles began when a woman named Jean Bissett accused her of being a witch. At the time, there was some form of illness affecting the local residents of Torryburn, which sparked a somewhat brief yet intense witch hunt in the Fife area. Jean Bissett would proclaim, "Beware lest Lilias Adie come upon you and your child." This accusation resulted in the arrest of Lilias. She was put in front of the local minister, a Reverend Alan Logan, to answer for her crimes. She was then imprisoned for over a month, and it was here where she would receive the forenamed rough interrogation. Under days of torture, she eventually confessed to the crime of being a witch and described how the devil visited her and made her renounce her baptism. In her description, the devil had coal pale skin and cloven hoofed feet like that of a cow. She then described how she would meet with other witches and that they cavorted with the devil. When questioned as to who were the other witches, she never revealed any names despite the continued questioning. Lilias would die in prison before the investigation could be concluded, sparing her from whichever form of punishment they had in mind for her. She was buried here at the beach in Torryburn in a wooden box. On top of the grave was placed a half-ton doorstep, which until recently still had the remains of an iron ring. It's said the reason the locals placed the stone on her grave was to stop fears of the devil bringing her back to life to torment the living. The burial site was found using 19th century historical documents detailing exactly where she had been buried. Her story doesn't end there, however. Her remains were dug up by antique collecting grave robbers in 1852. Most of her bones were still intact and in good condition. Her skull was exhibited in several museums but eventually disappeared around 1938. In 1904, photographs were taken of her remains, and in 2017 a team of forensic artists from the University of Dundee created a 3D virtual model and an image of what Lilias Adie would have looked like. It's clear that thousands of men and women who were accused of witchcraft over the centuries were completely innocent of the crime of witchcraft. These were the victims of unenlightened times, accused of horrendous crimes that were fully believed to be real and dangerous to the communities where they lived. Lilias was completely innocent, and anyone under torture would confess to just about anything under those conditions. On the 31st of August 2019, a memorial service was held here in Torryburn and a wreath was laid over the burial stone of Lilias Adie that is directly behind me. There is an ongoing investigation to find the bones of Lilias and give her a proper burial, where she can then finally rest at peace.